Well, I think we might be live, but I'm gonna just make sure I can see it on here first. It's so action-packed doing this sort of stuff because you can never truly come up with a way to introduce it correctly. It's more you just sort of talk and wait. So apparently it started 16 seconds ago. So I have a live chat on my phone, and I've got something else. Good evening. Can you hear me okay, everybody? Oh, there we go. We've got it all. Cool. We're perfectly up to date. Good evening, Mark. Good evening, Matthew. Good evening, Lord Stiff Upper Lip. We are live again. I live stream like I'm talking to you on a Teams or Skype call. Hi John, hi Alan. Right, so the room is filling up, which is great. Yes, the 75 is unwell, Mark, so that's a good segue. I can't come up with any way to intro anything on this. But yes, she is a bit unwell. So today I had a good look around her. So you probably know she's been off the road for a bit. Hello there, Bez. You probably know she's been off the road a bit. Now there's been a few sort of, I wouldn't say rumours because it's just me, but there's been a few people sort of speculating, inboxing me and saying, is the 75 dead? Is it actually dead? Because it's got no MOT on it because I've just let it expire. Reason being is there's a few problems with it. But we have resolved them all. So to give you guys an update really on it, so we had that big issue a couple of months ago where the wonderful brake pipe on the rear, as you probably know they all have, so hold on, Rover 75 brake pipe rear. You probably let's just do underneath. This is such a professional live stream. Oh no, there's no pictures of it underneath. Well, basically, I'll just go back to the whole situation. So there's two ginormous brake pipes that run to the rear of the car, and one of them decided to destroy itself in Manchester. To be fair, I was kind of asking for it. It did kind of they needed doing. I'd never done any brake work on this car other than the discs, pads, and rear shoes. So that was a result that it did that. But anyway, on my way home, the AA man insisted that I drove it. Now, again, it's it's my own fault for driving it. So it had that little leak. It wasn't pouring out, but it was leaking a little bit. So I had to stop it with a handbrake. And as you guys know, with these cars, the rear, what are they called? The professionalism in my last video, rear back plate. So these here. So these, you get loads of problems with these. Mainly because they're such thin metal and they rust. So these two bits where the little pins go in, which hold the little retaining springs, mine had rusted. And then when I was doing my handbrake assisted stopping, the car decided it had had enough. So one side, the mechanism just went flying off. So that was good. And then the other side was more of the same. So we essentially ended up in a situation where none of the actual clips would go through, which was really, really annoying. So what we did is, so we thought, this is it. The car's done. If I can't get a set of these, it's done. So I was really quite upset about it. So I posted everywhere like, everybody, do you have a back plate? And of course, nobody has these back plates. So what I did is there's something called a Girling washer. This might be a silly thing, but I think it works. So these are basically to seat the clip things for other brake shoes. So Fiat 500s, for example, have these because they don't have that weird backing plate situation. So I used it to sort of sort mine out, and here we are now. We're sorted, and it's safe and nearly legal. So that is a good tip. So if you guys have that problem, use these. If again, I'm not a mechanic. Let's see how I get on first. Either it'll fail its MOT or I'll end up in a self-inflicted accident. Personally, I think I have solved my problem. Slightly longer ones, put that in, wham, twist it round. You've still got the original sort of thing holding it in there, but you've got that on the back of it as well, which is how those work anyway on any other car. All they did with a 75 really was just sort of build it in, which is a bit silly, but I mean, in an ideal world where you don't live in a salty place like the UK, that would be fine. But we live in the UK and it's very salty here. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. But the next thing about this car was it just gone a bit, I don't know how to describe it. You know when a car goes, when cars age, you'll notice they'll be a bit less tight. And I think it was crying out for a bit of TLC. So I had a problem with... So I had the usual. So I didn't even bother making a video about this. Because you guys have seen it 100 times. And you probably saw it if you've been around long enough. In my original Rover 75 video. There's a really old video called Fixing Random Problems on my Rover 75. And that's what I fixed in this. So there's these two little gaskets in the lights. You probably know about them. They're just behind it. They were leaking, so I've sorted that again. Issue was it had been sat for a couple of weeks and it turned mouldy, so that was epic. So I had to sort all that out. But I'm glad to report we now have a watertight boot. The car's interior is tip top, amazing condition, and we also sorted the weird bonnet stay issue out. So what I've found is on these, so you can see there, sometimes, and this is probably to everybody else's knowledge as well, so I've had this thing here, the reversed. So that's the block with the two what do you call it? See, I'm really not that eloquent, am I? That's the block with the two cables for here. And all I did really was loosen these up a little bit, back them off 1 or 2 turns, and then bam, we obviously got to the boot there. Then bam, my bonnet sits right now. I think that sits right. What do you think? I think that's correct-ish. Yeah, I've got the chart on my phone, by the way, as well. I'm looking. I'm just gonna go all the way up. So Matt says, "Bless the 75." Yep, bless the 75. RF says, "Did the Rover 75 diesel have a turbo? I remember someone telling me it didn't. Was it a BMW engine?" Yes, it was the M47 BMW engine built in the Steyr plant in Austria. It's the M47R variant, which is the Rover variant. It's got a slightly smaller turbo and I think it's been detuned. But all the same, it's pretty good. You can get, I think it's something like 135 brake horsepower out of a standard one. Brake lines are the same issues I've had with the old Mark III Mondeo. Yeah, they expire. The time comes eventually, and here we are with mine. I've just had as well. So Rob brilliant guy. He's the 75 guru. Noticed one of my brake lines, this one here, had been pushed up, so it was a bit of it was like this. It's supposed to go like this, but it was kinked up like that. Don't know how, don't know why. Here we are. That's been replaced. Other side's been replaced. Both backs. We have all new brake lines and brake pipes. Brilliant, brilliant. We're really doing really well. So I've spent a good amount of money on this car because I absolutely love it and it's fantastic. So I'll get to reading more of your comments. Rowan Lewis. Hey Tom, loving the channel. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep, Mark, you are right about that one. There would probably be some thermal issues, I think, Mark, I've heard, but I've never tried it. Hello, Simone. Nice to see you again. Andy, hi Tom, did you sort the back plate? Yeah, I did, Andy. We've just fixed that. Mark, yeah, definitely. I'm always looking for stuff. If you find anything, just email me. I'll drop you a message as well at some point. Simone, the crank pulley. I mean, you've probably seen in that other video I had that. I'd went through 2 crank pulleys in the space of a year. One was Chinese, the other one was Chinese, and then the third one was a Cortico one, which was made in Germany, I think. Get that one. I know it's a bit more money. The best thing to do is save up for it because I have not had a single problem. And it feels a bit more refined. It's a bit less clattery. It feels a bit more balanced. Maybe that's my placebo effect. Yep, they are Xenon headlights. They are. So I replaced these when I got it immediately. I did, Michael. Yes, I had a look at that. It's on my reply list, so I'll drop you a message back about that. Not in the market for any yet, I'm afraid. I was kind of hoping this one here at the back, you can see, will be going in there because the grounds people are here and they're fixing my garage, which is epic. Fantastic. So they're going to fix my garage and then I'm going to be able to start on the 2600 project. I know, it's only been a year. It's only been a year. A year of waiting. Blooming annoying. You've replaced the bottom engine mount, haven't you, Simone? And have you replaced the hydro mount at the top as well? Mine was very bad when the hydro mount went. It was practically floating on top of it and the engine was like this. It was quite bad. Shaking its head off. So I am really happy with this. I've done a lot to it. Did a bit of a clean up there, as you can see. Standard old affair. I do this every year, except for that. Don't look at that bit there. You know this bit here. That's because I'm waiting for a new exhaust. And I thought it would be funny to do that. But no, these are like double skinned, I'm pretty sure. So I just did that just so we can try to keep this exhaust as long as possible. Yeah, she's doing well now. She's been sat for so long. And there's a picture of her back in her glory days, back when she was bought to travel Europe underneath what looks to be a cliff. This was probably one of the coolest photos I took. Are you still running the L322 as well? Of course I am. Yeah, Keith, it's doing fantastic. It's £300 a month in fuel, but that's because that's how much I drive it, and I really do love it. I think it's an amazing car. So the L322, I mean, there's one for sale at the minute on eBay. If I just have a look. Oh no, I am in the way. Let's go back. Oh no, I've closed it. I've closed it now, unfortunately. I'll have to post it another time. There was an Overfinch on eBay that I really wanted, but obviously I can't afford it because it's an Overfinch. So, yeah, no, I've been having that, Simone. The mine, if it's on a slight angle, an ever so slight angle, it will just kill you off and it will just go flying down. Good evening, Gary. Yeah, it is nice that it's going together. It's not even just a monetary thing. I've been anticipating that car for so long. I've had the idea in my mind for going on 4 years. I finally get the car here, fantastic. Get all the parts, amazing, and then boom, the garage leaks. So it's one of those, isn't it? Just recapping that. 75 needed a few things doing. It's fixed now. It's had some new brake lines, new brake shoes on the back. It's had a good clean up, and it's running fine. It had a load of stuff that needed to be done as well. I'm going to make myself smaller because we're not here for this. There you go. I'll be smaller now. We need to talk about these photos. So that's really it on the 75 front, to be honest with you. It's doing all right now. Look at the mileage of it on there, by the way. This is the first Pride of Longbridge I ever went to. The first ever one. 58.8 miles a gallon. And that's the stereo that I originally had as well. Yeah, it was epic. Yeah, I need to service mine as well, Simone. What's the best engine for the 75? I would say the 2.5 litre. The 2.5 litre KV6, if you get a good one that's had the thermostat done, then again, it's not that hard of a job if you're mechanically minded. I did one at the side of the road. Daily use, I would always say diesel. If you want a collector's car, go for a V6. Let's have a look at the Rover 75s on eBay. Do we have any 75s on eBay? Whoa, look at that. Club SE. Y-Reg, the same year as mine. 50,000 miles. It's a manual. What's that? No, I can't see the photos too bad. 2.1 litre. I don't think so. Yeah, so on the 75 front, 2.5 V6 if you're going for a collector's car, diesel if you've got something that you want to collect, either the V6 or of course the mighty V8. Yeah, Matthew, the V8's amazing. I'd love one, but yeah, they're not cheap. Yeah, I'm trying to get to 200k, Simone. I won't give up until mine hits 200k. I mean, look at this one. This one's so cheap. Come on. That is a good car. The amount of car that you've got there. It even has the badges. These badges are very, very cool and nice to have. They deleted them on the later models. Very oddly trimmed seats. Again, I'd like to say that I know about that, but I could say personal line or something. Yeah, I've always had a soft spot for Alfa Romeos. They've always been quite a thing for me, but I've never owned one. I originally wanted 159. I originally wanted one of these, a TI. So that would have been pretty good. My question always is though, is if the 75 were to die, what car should I get? Also, my first ever Rover experience was in one of these. I'll just tell you quickly about that. Yeah, I think they will go up in value 100%, Simone, because they are the last proper, fully British owned, British produced saloon. And I think they're fantastic. And in general, people are appreciating them now. We'll have the usual in the summer. Of everybody will be buying them and doing them on YouTube, which is fantastic because we need more and more and more and more and more people to like them. Yeah, the first Rover experience I had, so as you guys probably know, I've probably explained this way too many times. So when I was about, like a smaller child than I am now, got brought home a badge, absolutely, fascinated by it. Turns out it was a Rover badge, and it was off one of these. So it was off the pillar badges there. So what we had what we had was a collection of badges, and so when I finally got on a computer, I decided to Google Rover because I was like, oh, what do the new ones look like? If they've got these cool badges on them, what do the new ones look like? And then I found out they collapsed just 2 years earlier. So yeah, that was pretty bad. Anyway, parked that idea for a bit, made a Rover cushion in what was it, textiles. It was a denim cushion with a Rover badge. The least stylish thing you could ever think of. And then I was in a friend's car, one of these, and it was the worst thing I'd ever been in. It was so under. How do I describe it? It was an abused soul, is what that 25 was. It was an abused soul. Headlining was sagging. It was wet. The headlining was wet. It was mouldy in the boot, and I looked at that and I said, absolutely never gonna get a Rover ever. And then obviously, here we are. Here we are all those years later. Ate my words a bit. Yeah, it will do, Simone. And yes, Matthew, I wish. If I had the money, that's what I'd be doing. If I was a billionaire, I'd buy the Rover brand off of Tata, but they'd never sell it. And Triumph, BMW would never sell Triumph because it's too close to home. You've got to think the Dolly Sprint was giving them a bit of a run for the money in the 1970s. I see them all the time, Jim. I see them all the time. They're everywhere. Sunny D, 75s are getting to the point where the bad ones are weeding themselves out and a lot more of the ones that are left to sound. Yeah, I agree with that. There's a lot of the I think it's the mid life cycle models, the 53s and 54s that have had more issues. Because my 53 plate, BU 53 RYX, my one was pretty bad. But again, I don't think they were all so bad. One car doesn't speak of an entire model range, does it? Marcus, regrettably, a friend of mine put it through a hedge backwards. Oh dear. A Rover 800 Sterling, still very cheap, and a lot of Honda in them, hopefully reliable. Yeah, David, the thing with the 800 is the parts are really hard to find. So let's look at Rover 827, see if we can find one on here. I cannot find a single Rover 827, by the way. So as you probably know, I had an 827. I sold mine, and I don't regret selling mine because I don't think mine was the best. But what I'd love to have another one, but a really nice one. There was this lovely one that this guy had. Rover. Let's go to Google. Go away, Bing. Go to Google, reject all the cookies. Rover 827 Vitesse. Oh, be nice if Google wasn't listening to me. So if you type in 827 Vitesse, this guy here, this dude, right? So you can probably see mine on here. Mine used to be on here all the time. You'd search 827 Vitesse. There's mine. That's my old one. She was a peach. 223,000 miles, I think it was 230. She'd done it. She'd done it. Been there, done that. Bought the t-shirt. She'd done every mile, every single mile. But yeah, 827 Vitesse. This guy bought my wheels off me, so I was so paranoid about my 827 because everything was so rare and hard to get hold of. So I had to buy the I had to buy a set of shark fin wheels. So the shark fin wheels, you can see them on. Though that's my car when I first got it, and then that's my car after, somewhere down here. Yeah, there. Anyway, so these shark fin wheels there, they're really rare. I think they only did them for a year and a half, 2 years. So I bought 2 sets of them because I'm a hoarder. So I bought 2 sets, and this guy, I sold them to him, and his car's fantastic. This like is one of the nicest ones. It's an 89, which it's got the short bumpers on it. It's got the original Rover badge. And the other thing it doesn't have as well is with the 800s, just to put you off them even more, if it has the slimline trip computer, you'll run out of you'll potentially have a situation where that will die and all your lights will go off because the LCM, the light module, is in there. Whereas this one is completely separate. The LCM is somewhere else. So, yeah. But, still a fantastic car. The main community is alright. There's just a few others that are not very good. But this one was amazing. Terrible wheels. He'd replace them with mine. I haven't seen it since. So if I can find this car again, I mean, my gosh, just look at that. It just looks. They're so menacing, and obviously with the Tony Pond stuff, with them, incredible. It's a bit. Yeah, I agree. I really do prefer. I prefer the SD one. I really prefer the SD one. The SD one to me is the ultimate rovery Rover is the P5B. Or the ultimate rovery Rover is the P6, but the ultimate Rover is the SD1. Hey Tom, love the MGZT you drove. Very nice sound from the engine. Yeah, it was. It was Glenn's old V8. It's a lovely car. That's been sold a few times. I think it's floating around now still. Simone, yes, I have. The issue was it was an involuntary change. So on my car, it's got the old style. I think it's called the Air Blast gearbox cooler. Your car will have a different one. My one was known to have a fault where the little unions would just shoot off the end. So the pipes under the pressure would just shoot off. And yeah, it changed itself in an Asda car park. Funnily enough, I think it was on like New Year's Eve. So I was starting the new year right. Starting the new year perfect. There used to be an 827 Vitesse. So you see this one here. There used to be an 827 Vitesse for sale on Car and Classic. And this was like a really... He's the spelling master. This was a really cool car. We shan't talk about that. Don't talk about that guy. Where is it? I don't think it'll be on here anymore. But there was one on Car and Classic, and it was this really mysterious one. So it was a red 827 Vitesse, short bumper, and it just randomly appeared in Croatia. It was British registered. Is this the one? Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is the one. It randomly appeared in like Croatia or something. I don't know what that is. It appeared just in the middle of nowhere. Oh, this is an epic photo. Saving that. Oh, check the stream. Yeah, so it just appeared in the middle of nowhere. That is such a cool photo. This is epic. Look at that. I've never seen that before. Hell yeah, look at that. What a photo. Nobody's ever shown me that. That's so cool. That's like a phone wall. They've literally made that to be my phone wallpaper. That's cool. I love that. That's epic. But yeah, on to other things. It just randomly appeared there. And I messaged the guy and I was like, please let me buy it. Please let me buy it. Because I wanted to drive over there for a YouTube video and go get it and drive it back. But no, never got in touch. He vanished. He vanished. Never to be seen again. There's this really famous one, this guy. This guy has literally the coolest one. Facebook won't load the image. I love this car. It's amazing. You can see it there in the pixels. Is the live stream actually still going? Ah, yes. Sorry, my phone had glitched out there. Yeah, so you can see I really do like 800s. This was one of the dream cars when I was a kid. I was gonna say it looks a lot better on your screen than mine. I don't know why. Yeah, love it. That's another one as well. This was floating around the same time as mine. There's our driver classic there with, well, Steph with Nick's car. Yeah, 800s, eh? Love it. So, well, that's cool. That's epic. 4 serpent wheels from your community. You're probably better off joining the Facebook group for that. If you join the MG, ZT and Rover 75 Club groups, you'll be able to get some. And who knows? I wish I was doing a road trip, because you know what I'd do? If I did another road trip, I would drive all the way. I would pick up loads of parts and I'd just drive them to people. That would just be so cool. It's like the epic journey. What is the journey? What is the road trip? The road trip is we have to go from Sheffield to somewhere in Germany to deliver 4 serpent wheels. I wish I could, but I can't. So yeah, there's plenty of 75s on eBay. Mine's a bit rusty in that spot as well. I watched you on Mustard and Boaty do lunch with Tom Drives. I was in that caravan with Boaty and Mustard 2 times. I enjoyed my lunch with them. Very genuine people. Yeah, they are genuine people. They do what they say on the tin. With those though, with that meal that I had, I wasn't really a fan of the pizza that I had, to be honest with you. So it's a dark time. I don't think that caravan's there anymore, you know. I don't think the caravan's there. I think the caravan of Broken Dreams is gone. Yeah, there's plenty of 75s in that. I mean, this is another example. These will go flying up. They just will. Somebody will pay this, because that is worth it. These will go flying up. Eventually, we'll be priced out of these boys. We'll be priced out of them. Or maybe we'll be rich enough one day that we sit there and buy some ourselves. Yeah, Simone, that's a good choice. Good choice. I'd love a P5B, but they're very expensive. And to me, I do love them, but I don't think they're not really my thing. I do like them though, but they're not really my thing. I do wish there was more Rover 800s for sale. So, on today's video, by the way, yesterday's video, I haven't heard a single thing. So, I'm really wondering what's going to happen with this. So, what kind of made me a bit sad about all of this is the guy got a bit of grief. Not from us, from some other people that shall not be named. So, yeah. It's very sad. So I'm hoping, I have said, if you are watching this, I am happy. I mean, the video obviously did alright, which is great. I don't really tend to look at the numbers, but the video's doing great. So, if there's at least one person in that 23,000 views that wants to buy these cars, I think it's definitely worth him talking to us. But again, he does have free will, so he doesn't have to talk to us. But I'd just really love to go see him. But if you are watching, let me know. We will arrange it. I will get a flight. I will come over to Italy and I will film them. And I'll have a look at them. Yeah, I do wonder where it is, Matthew. Yeah, I do. Somebody said that they might know. I've had a few messages about it now, but... blooming adverts. Why does this guy have adverts on his videos? Skip that. Yeah, so... I wonder where they are, but I don't know. I really don't know at this point. So, that's an update on that one. The other outstanding cars that we're trying to find... this guy. Motorhome scrap prices. This dude here is live. The other outstanding car I'm looking for is this here, the Rover Bravo. So I'll probably do some sort of video on this. We'll have to watch a Boots advert. Sorry guys. If we get another advert on this video, that would be really funny. Like we've got an advert within an advert within an advert. It's always the same ones as well. Injury lawyers for you and boots. I guess that's just as it is. Yeah, that's it, Matthew. Nothing says luxury like bin bags over the headrest. Let's just have a look at this car. So somebody was really quite good with... Oh my gosh. It's boots again. I just want to watch my own video. Dude, go away. God. So somebody was really quite good with this, and I had a look as well at this. I can find that video on Google Maps. Yeah, and I don't know why I've got that on there. So, meet women who write first. So, I've got... I'm pretty good at finding stuff on Google Maps, and so are a few other people. I keep getting generic adverts, and it really winds me up. Because this is basically... This web browser is just like... This is just for streaming. So, it's basically boots, injury lawyers for you, and dating. And live streaming about Rovers. So yeah, we found that on Google Maps basically. So it was in Italy, 100%, and people have sort of been doubting whether or not that is a Rover badge. It was in the. I mean, if you see there on that is definitely a Rover badge. Whether it was officially commissioned or not, is kind of not the point. But I want to find it. I want to at least find a record that says this is dead or this is alive, because, yeah, interesting. So I'll be going to the British Motor Museum at some point to dig through their archives again and have a good look, because I just think this is a fascinating one. It really is. If we could find this, it's like a missing link. The guys at what do you call it? This really did do me a solid by providing me these images, because these have never been seen before, like on the internet. So I was really, really happy with that. So I'm really happy with that. Yeah. We are ill. No one sane would be interested in BL vehicles. Well, there's 25,000 of us now on this channel. So, yeah. Yeah, it is. It definitely, David. Definitely a hint of Citroen in there. Definitely. Definitely Citroen-esque. It's an interesting car. It looks very BXy. BXy. And yes, you're right, Matthew. Definitely Proton-esque. So there's that. That's an outstanding car. We've got plenty of outstanding cars as well. So we're just trying to find all that this year. And with the other prototypes as well, I've submitted a request. So I hope one day I'll have a look at them. But yeah, this is Prada Longbridge 2019. Now there is something else I wanted to run by you all. We're sort of getting to the end of the live stream. This will be a fairly short one, I'm afraid, because yeah, I've got work tomorrow. I'd love to stay up and do this, but so I'm clip hunting. So there's loads and loads and loads of stuff. So you see that there. I'm looking for all these old news reports about when Rover was being rebuilt in China, because if you guys didn't, well, a lot of you will know. Basically, what happened is these guys all lost their jobs because of things that happened, and then these guys rebuilt it all. And as you can see probably in here, you'll see on this image in a moment. Boom, MG Austin Rover Group asset number. So this is all a transplant of Longbridge in China. I need to find the original reports of this, because I need to have a look at it. So if you guys know of this, let me know. But yeah, this all collapsed, and then all of a sudden, wham, straight over in China, they shipped the whole lot over there, rebuilt it all, and then we had Longbridge in China. and that's what this is. So that's really quite sad. That infuriated me. That infuriated me when I saw that. Nice to see that you finally made it. Nice to see you on here. It's nice to see so many people tuning in. It's just a hangout and looking at things. You can ask any questions you want, as long as they're on the YouTube terms of service, and we can look at whatever you want. It is, yeah, probably David. It is, yeah. I'm going to request it from the BBC, but they'll probably tell me to go away. So, I mean, is that Studley Castle? Yes, there's loads of stuff. I mean, you just look at all this. Like, you've got, just like, look at this, look at that. It's Streetwise being made in China. Sad. Very sad. From everything to nothing. And then there's the things about the trust fund. You know, this is all the people that actually mattered losing their jobs. This is everything getting destroyed. And this is the beneficiaries. The guy that really didn't do that much to help it. You know, the guy coming out of the car. And then, of course, we've got everything else. And the ultimate winner is these guys who got all this. And that's a real shame. Because if people should understand, if we can truly ask him, I used to do the red arrow. It was a bit of the YouTube algorithm loved the silly curvy red arrow, but now we're free of it. We're free of it because they don't care anymore. I do like the red arrow. That was a funny era of my YouTube channel. When did I stop? Yeah, I like the red arrow though. Sometimes the red arrow is kind of cool. It's a neon red arrow. It's free to use as well. It's just kind of an attention grabber. I do understand it though. It is a bit stupid. I'd love it in an ideal world. I'd love to just make all these titles and stuff just really like nice and just. You know, I think this series is gone nice, but I don't really like the capitalization. I don't like all the elements on it. But this is the game of YouTube, and Shorts is even worse. Shorts and Reels is worse, I'm afraid. But yeah, we're kinda. Yeah, I'm trying to find a lot of stuff anyway. But if people think that this issue in 2000, this thing that happened in 2005 that destroyed thousands of people's lives, you know, upended an entire community, had ripple effects through the entire Midlands and the country, and ended up selling the rights of our stuff to China, was a isolated one-time thing. You'll see all the Chinese EVs rolling around on the roads now, and you have to understand that is a consequence of this. It is a consequence of this. See, MG Rover's collapse wasn't just industry, it was political and geopolitical. Because at the end, whether or not, you know, whether people like it or not, China is pretty dominant in cars now, in the mass market and mass manufacture of cars, and we're not doing anything about it. And we ideally should be, but that's just my opinion. Some of these make me very irritated, especially that one where you can see, you know, fair enough if they just bought it, right? For me, fair enough. MG Rover, if they just bought it, fair enough. But the fact that they were trying to do a deal, they squirreled all of the stuff out of them, which was, you know, things like the rights to the 75, the rights to the engine designs, the rights to all the other stuff, and then they pulled out at the last minute, which then caused them to collapse. if it wasn't that, if that wasn't the situation, and then they rebuilt Longbridge in China, if that wasn't the situation, then whatever. But it is the situation. If it was just, MG Rover goes bust or China swoops in and buys it or because nobody else wants it, fair enough. It's a free country, isn't it? Unlike the one that it's being built in now. But, it's fair enough. But the fact it was a lot of skullduggery and a big old mess now leads to this. I disagree with that, Matthew. I don't think the West is finished. I think you'll see a resurgence in the West, but we shan't talk politics, I'm afraid. But yeah, it's kind of sad, all this. But we'll get there. We will. Yeah, kind of annoys me looking at all that. Like what Hyundai did with the pony. Well, that was they got George Turnbull involved in their operation, and that was a good decision. Because the issues with British Leyland at the time weren't necessarily worth his talents, I'm afraid. And the pony was like you said, like we all know, was the genesis of Hyundai, and is of course where it's responsible for where they are now. Yeah, it's an annoying situation because in hindsight, of course, it's easy for us to say, but at the time, a lot of people were very interested in things like, Top Gear and everything being fast. And to be fair, they had been the Rover 75 and all of these other cars that they were creating had all been pigeonholed. The 75 was too big to compete with the 3 Series and too small to compete with the 5 Series, so it couldn't do anything for the fleet market. Then, because of the situation of the Rover, of MG Rover's financial situation, they had to strip it down. Therefore, it couldn't compete with either the 3 or the 5 Series as a happy medium in between. So it then went to the Mondeo level. And then here we are at this point where it didn't really have a chance. Alexander's actually just replied to something, so I'm just going to have a look at my phone. He's replied, the only scam here is... No. So Alexander's just commented. He just says that he's well, if he replies to me and he wants me to come over, I'll be very happy with that. He's just said something I can't disclose. Hopefully, we're gonna get to see if these are. I think they're real, but let's see. This could be the find of the century in terms of Rovers, but yeah, we'll see about that. It's really interesting, this whole situation, because they did literally disappear for, they disappeared for ages. I mean, when did I post the first one? I posted this on the literal, the day after they got posted. Because Practical Classics, everybody was raving about them. Then I posted this. 3 months later, nothing. Boom. 2 days ago, there we are again. So that's why we're in the situation we are. And he said he'll host me. I'll gladly do it. But I think, to be honest with you, that is it for this live stream, everybody. So it's been good to update you all on the 75 because you guys deserve to know it's sort of like it's a communal car at this point. I think everybody loves it. It's been good to update you on that. It's been good to just have a chat in general on the Rovers and stuff in Italy. Let's see. You guys will be the first to know when anything happens. So that will be really, really interesting. He says there's a lot of talk and no action. Well, I'll commit to action. So Yeah, we'll see anyway. So, thank you everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. There's a slight delay on it, so I've got to wait.